transformation thing. Yeah. Oh, it's transformation. Oh, it's transformation thing. Yeah. Oh, it's transformation. Hey, hey, hey. Transformation. Transformation. Every step of Friday. Transformation. 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 God's word is our foundation. Transformation. Transformation. True transformation. Transformation. Let the past always make clear. Transformation starts right here. Oh, it's Transformation Thursday. Get ready for the word today. Oh, it's Transformation Thursday. Let the Spirit lead the way.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another Transformation Thursday. It's good to see everybody in the digital sanctuary. As you're coming in, say something so I can shout you out. I believe, Mama, I seen you one of the first ones that was in here. Good to see you, Mama. Praise the Lord. Good to see you, Amanda. Good to see you, Mario. Mario, how you been doing, man? I'm meaning to call you. Expect a call from me tomorrow. Want to check and see how you are doing, how the family is doing. Missing y'all in the digital sanctuary, but believing that you are healing up. Bobby, good to see you. Tawana, good to see you. Victoria, good to see you. And I know Steve will be on soon. If he's not on now, good to see everybody coming in the digital sanctuary. When you're in here, say hi to me so I can shout you out. Josie, good to see you. Nicole, always a blessing to see you. Good to see everybody. Y'all coming in the digital sanctuary tonight. Christina, good to see you. Shamir, is that my boy Shamir? Good to see you, man of God. Great man of God. Y'all are really coming in the digital sanctuary. I got a question for y'all as you are coming in. I pray that you already hit the like button. I pray that the link that you got, that you copied and shared it and sent it to a few friends, those that you know that this will be a blessing to, especially if you know if somebody's always asking you for $5 or $10, make sure you send them this link right here, or those that want to do great things in God and be a good steward over what God has given them. Send the link to them, because again, we want to be a blessing to everybody. So it's good to see everybody coming in. Natalia, good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you coming in. It's good to see you. Cantrell, good to see you, man. Good to see everybody coming in the digital sanctuary. I'm behind here again doing the producing. Minister Jones is out spending time with his family. They came into town, so I'm happy that he's able to get a night off. So y'all got me again for another Thursday night. But it's a blessing to be able to do it and to learn how to do it and not to be intimidated with doing it. So the question I have for y'all ain't get away. How was your week? I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to let me know how was your week, and I'm gonna see how y'all week been. See what's been going on in your neck of the woods this particular week. Let me know how your week was, and I hope that you took notes. I'm gonna say that again. I hope that you took notes, because we got trivia tonight to make sure that you were paying attention to the word that God gave us on last week. Because again, we don't have Transformation Thursday. I don't have these speakers come in and give us information and us not to be able to retain it and to use it in our life. Again, I want to send a shout out. I don't know if our administrator is in here. There you go. He's in the comments. Y'all say hey to Joseph Dillard. There he goes. He's in the comments. Let's light him up in the comments and tell him good to see you, Joseph. He has been a blessing to us. Again, over 20 plus years, 30 plus years in financial education. So he is a great person to have and to know. So make sure that you get his information when these sessions are over. So it is good. Back 2 trees fell on our house, but God is still good. Oh, I pray, because I know these insurance companies, they something else. I pray that they take care of that. Um, if State Farm looking for me to get them a good recommendation, they ain't getting it. So I pray you got somebody else. I just pray God intervene, because it don't matter who you have with insurance, as long as you got God, He can change things around. So we ain't gonna be concerned about that. I hear you, man. That's what I love. I got to put that up. I got to put that on the screen. He says, two trees fell on our house, but God is still good. Then his wife came right behind him. I love that. God is still good, though. Somebody put in the chat, God is still good. Regardless of what you have went through the week, they already took what I was going to tell y'all, because whether you said you had a great week or up and down week, I was going to tell you that you had a blessed week because you are still here. You're still in the land of the living. You might have some pain, but you're still here. But I love what Amanda said. You don't mind if I take what you said, Amanda, because all of us need to exclaim that from our mouth and type it in our fingerprints. Everybody, all of us, how many we got in here? I'm looking from a different thing, but how many we got in here? Everybody put in the chat. God's still good, though. God is still good, though. And when we do that, we're not robbing him of his praise. When we do that, we're not robbing him of his glory. When we do that, we're not robbing him of his honor. The enemy would love, because we're still feeling pain, not to say, the pain is overriding the praise. The enemy would love that because the tree happened, that we'd be like, man, oh, this has been a week. I love what Amanda said. God is still good, though. Let that be our testimony from now until Sunday, from now until next week. God's still good, though. I love that, Amanda. I love that. We got to take that. I was just gonna get ready to shout out, but she just put it in the comments. Two of our great entrepreneurs. One of them is Kendra Hogan. I'm rocking one of her tees. It said Mac Scripture, not energy. And Barana, I got one of her dope shows that said chosen. So we have some great entrepreneurs, and I want to say that we're always chosen, we're always blessed. So God is still good. I love it, Victoria. Put the exclamation point behind it. God is still good, though. And that's showing that we're still going to give him praise, that we're still going to give him honor, that we're still going to worship him. So y'all know I'm still new at this producing thing, and I'd already talked a lot. So can y'all hear me and see me? I'm trying to hear from two different screens and monitors. It's a lot going on back here, but let me know if you can still hear me and see me and all that stuff as well. So and then we got Minister David Tucker in the building. Y'all, let's give it up for him, because what Jamina said in the text, she said, did our hearts not burn with the word that God sent through him on Sunday? It was amazing. He told the church it's time to lose it. Whatever it is that's not like God, whatever it is that's stopping you from being everything that God has called you to be, TG, it's time to lose it. It's time to deny ourselves, to forget oneself, to let go of your thoughts and your plans. And I love how he said, I had to put it in one of my notes, let go of your blueprints and take his blueprints, because the blueprints let us know every way that he wants us to go. So again, we have a blessed house. And again, I do want to make mention of that. I see y'all still putting it in the comments heavy. Y'all heavy in the comments. God's still good, though. God is still good, though. God is still good. I see you, Mama. Even Mama type, hey, Connie, good to see you. Hey, everybody, good to see you. Encourage him, Minister Dillard. God is still good. Woo! God is better than his word. Okay, y'all can tell me you can hear me. You can hear me. God is still good. Amazing word. That should go again. She said that in text. Did our hearts not burn? But again, he was Minister Tucker was the one that was kicking us off for the month of July. Next up, this coming Sunday, we got a dynamic duo. As you see on your screen, we have Minister Gary Edwards and Elder Taylor Cisco. Y'all gonna get the double whammy this Sunday. So make sure that you are in the building. It's not gonna be long. Each one of them gonna preach for about minister or teach, because not everybody is a preacher, about 25 minutes apiece, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So come hungry. Again, Minister Tucker kicked us off. Minister Edwards and Elder Cisco, they're going to take it to another level. So it's going to be amazing. Make sure that you are in the physical sanctuary if you can be. Did I see Patrick yet? If Patrick ain't on here, somebody tell Patrick Pastor looking for him. I love to see Patrick and those of you that really make my heart happy when you do come on. So it's good to see everybody in the digital sanctuary again. That's our word. What Amanda gave us. God's still good though. God is still good. It's and then I love that it's working for my good. Sometimes even when you don't see it, it is working for our good. So with that being said, let's get ready for our transformation trivia. I pray that you took notes last week with the great information that we have about transforming our finances because it's going to help you in the long run. And guess what? Transformation trivia starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me know how well you do.
Welcome, TG family, to Transformation Thursday Trivia, where we study God's Word to know it and to live it. Let's test your knowledge. Write your answers in the comment section below. Let's go. Okay, that one was easy. How about this one? Okay, you got that right. Did you get this one right? Come on and study to show yourself approved. Wow, it looks like somebody's been paying attention. Nice. Okay, good memory. We see you. So, how did you do? Did you get that one right? If you didn't do as great as you would have liked, no worries. You will have another chance to redeem yourself. So, get ready to listen, take notes, and apply God's word. And join us next week for Transformation Thursday Trivia.
All right, y'all. Let me know how well that you do with that one. Now, this wasn't our normal where you can just think you got everything right. Let me know out of the 8 how many did you got right, how many that you missed, and for those of you who are just coming in, make sure that you hit that like button. Make sure that you share it with your Facebook friends, whatever. Those of you that know somebody that need financial information, make sure that you share it. Make sure that you put this out to your people wherever they may be, so we can be a great financial stewardship church that we take care of the responsibilities and the resources that God gives us in a great way. Terry got 8 out of 8. Tawana missed 1. Y'all doing good. That's good. And I'm sure as a teacher, he's loving. I see him behind in the green room. He's back there smiling, so he's happy. So he'll let y'all know how happy he is when he gets one. Christina missed 1. David missed 3. He probably was just so deep in prayer, getting the word ready for us this past Sunday. So that's why he wasn't able. The man of God missed 3. I'm just messing with him. Elder Cisco 5 out of 8. Okay, so let's good. Let's make sure that we take great notes for tonight. Thank you, Terry, for sharing. Tell Lewis I said hi. Y'all let me know. Do Linnell be seeing these? Because if so, I want to make sure I shout out Linnell also and tell him good to see him. So I don't know if Linnell sees these also, but tell Linnell I said hi and I want to make sure that he's on there and Otrell and all them too. Good. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby, for sharing. So without further ado, you already know him. Without further introduction, I'm going to bring our educator for tonight in the person of Joseph Dillard. Joseph, how are you
Hey,
doing, man?
excellent, excellent. It's great to be back, everybody. Great to be back at the Gathering Shy. I had a
All
great time
right.
last week and look forward to a better time this week.
All right. Did you see? I got to give them over to you now. How well your students did last week with the trivia.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Someone's paying attention, and hopefully, and that goes right along with it. Not just getting the information, but doing something with it, remembering it so you can act on it. I'm very proud of you all. Keep up the good work.
Okay, okay. So they did good last week, but we want to make sure that we keep up the good work. Again, if you do have any financial questions, and he probably give you the overview about, and he probably when he gets started, just to let you know of what to ask, what not to ask. So you know the questions that you do have when it's time for it, it'll be right in line with what he can answer. So we do have everything set up. Ron said, "What's up?"
What's up, Ron?
You're a house favorite, man. You're a house favorite, man. They love you. I tell you, man. When I bring you on, the
It's
views
good to
just
be
go
back.
up, man. So it's a blessing to have you. All right, y'all. TG, I'm not finna get into his time. We're about to get financially educated. Make sure you got something to take your notes with because we are about to transform our finances in three, two, one.
Hey, I'm ready. I'm ready. Say yes to no debt two. We're going to go over steps 2 and 3 today. We're going to do a little bit of review, but all of this is important. Hey Terry, I see all of y'all. So let's get it going. Let's get it going. Again, for those who don't know me, I'm just going to briefly run through some of my credentials. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota, so I'm not going to mess with y'all Bears fans, but I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan. Currently, I live in Bloomington, Illinois, and I've been in the financial services industry for over 30 years, with over 15 years in retail banking management. I'm a financial coach and a financial educator. So I work one on one with people and I work with groups, just like tonight. Also, I have a Bachelor of Arts in Economics, Northwestern University class of 89. And as I shared with the group last week, I don't know about finances because I've been in financial services so long, because I'm a financial coach, or because I have a bachelor's degree in economics from Northwestern University. Unfortunately, I learned the hard way with a lot of debt, living paycheck to paycheck, definitely spending more than I earned. But what I want you to learn out of this, just like me, is that once you learn something, share it with somebody. Share it with somebody. And that's why I do what I do, because I truly, truly believe that learning how to manage your money will change your life. Now, don't only do I believe it, but I know it's true. So let's move on. Let's move on. Again, I want to talk about this because this is the basis for what we're doing. Dr. DeForest B. Soares Jr. wrote a book called Say Yes to No Debt. And the thing is this book goes along with, or I go along with the book and what it teaches. So when you get an opportunity, I suggest, if you're really serious about this, buying the book. The book itself is just $16.95. That's all it is. And the thing is, it's well worth the investment. Let me get into it. Say Yes to No Debt is a groundbreaking, life changing approach to financial wellness. It moves the reader from debt, deficits, and delinquencies to deposits, dividends, and deeds. Pastor Soares believes financial bondage is an emotional, spiritual, and psychological problem more than an educational and informational one. Pastor Soares said, I looked as if I had money, but I was drowning in debt. If I can do it, you can as well. Just take the first step. And when you get the book, when you read it, Pastor Soares was saying how he couldn't even pay tithes to the church he pastored and he was preaching tithes about. He was struggling like that. Like he said, and he's not the only one. Looking like you have money, but drowning in debt. And that's something we want to change. We want you to change your mind so you can say yes to no debt. The agenda for today, we're going to talk about the all-important disclaimer. I'm going to read it verbatim so you'll know where we stand. We're going to talk about confidentiality again, and then look at our syllabus for step 2. We're going to go over a money tip, which every section has a money tip, and the title of step 2 is Address the Mess. We're going to look at our key verse. We've got a new key verse, the main verse, Proverbs 22:7. The main verse is Proverbs 22:7, but every step has a key verse. And then we're going to do, time permitting, we're going to do some exercises from the book and the workbook. And then at the end of every step, there's affirmation. So if I don't get anything else, we want to get those. The disclaimer says, these sessions are designed to help men and women of all ages to learn and to understand more about money and to improve their financial situations. The content of these sessions is for informational and educational purposes only and does not constitute financial, accounting, or legal advice. By attending and or viewing these sessions, you agree to hold me, Joseph Dillard, us, the Gathering Shy, Pastor Stepter, harmless from any ramifications, financial or otherwise, that occur to you as a result of acting on the information provided in these sessions. Information in these sessions is not intended to replace the guidance of a financial coach or a licensed financial advisor. Finally, the activity should not be construed as a recommendation or a guarantee of any specific outcome. And I say that that's important. However, I do believe, and I am a witness, that reading the book, following this information can help you transform your financial life. But I'm just saying, there's no guarantee. You've got to put in the work. You've got to do it. And that's what it's about. Confidentiality. As I stated last week, money is very personal. And sometimes people don't talk about it because it is such a personal issue. There's some embarrassment and there's some shame behind it. A lot of people make a lot of money and they're wondering why, how can I be broke? But so if you decide to share anything with me regarding your financial situation, I will maintain the highest level of confidentiality. You can be confident that I won't share it. The only reason I would share a situation is if I'm required to share it. And that's if the information shared is about you or someone else being in danger and or there's a possibility of you or someone else being harmed or harming yourself or themselves. If you want to contact me regarding a financial situation, feel free to contact me. The email on the screen, you see it right there, jdillard3723@msn.com. Old school, not Gmail. I don't do Gmail. jdillard3723@msn.com. And feel free to share. And again, I will maintain the highest level of confidentiality. Thank you. Here's our syllabus for our 3 sessions together. Last week, session 1, we went over the introduction and step 1, to admit the problem. Remember, you can't deal with the problem until you admit you have a problem. And then tonight, we're going to go over step 2 and step 3. After we admit the problem, you have to do something about it. You can't just say, I've got a problem with my finances. Excuse me. Yes, Minister Tucker, old school. You can't just say, I've got a problem with my finances, but you have to address that problem. We're going to start there. And then we have to adjust our attitude because, as I talked about last time, really our problem, just like in life, is related to the mindset that we have. We live our lives based on how we think, our mindset. And the thing is our beliefs about the way we live our life is how we spend our money or manage our money. So we need to adjust our attitude, and we will talk about that. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Next. All right. Again, level 1 is get started. And the main story, if you will, is about the prodigal son. We're going to stay here for a minute. Last time we talked about the prodigal son. Prodigal son had a brother, and he went to his father for his inheritance. As we know, usually if there is an inheritance to be gotten, you get it after the death. You get it after the death. But the prodigal son, the younger of the 2 sons, he said, I want it now. His father went ahead and gave it to him, and he went and wasted the money. He wasted the money. In fact, prodigal Some might believe it means, someone who leaves, someone who lives in sin. It's really just extravagant wastefulness. That's what it is. Extravagant wastefulness. And that's what he did. He just wasted the money. Then when he got to a point, as a lot of us know, he got to that point where he lost all of his money through riotous living, through wasteful spending. He lost all of his money. He ended up with a job feeding pigs. And while he was feeding the pigs, he said, how many of my father's servants are living better than me? So he admitted, I've got a problem. I've got a problem. I left home early, got all this money and wasted it. He could have done something with it, but he wasted it. So he admitted the problem. And today we're going to talk about addressing the mess. After he admitted the problem, he decided, I'm going to go home and ask my father if I can be one of his servants. He addressed the mess. He didn't just stay in that pig pen and say, I got a problem. I'm just going to stay here. That's just like, again, I'm going to go back to sin. If we realize we have a problem in sin, we don't just say, you know what, I got a problem with sin. I'm in trouble. We do something about it. We address the mess. We repent. We get baptized. We go to church. We figure out what's the next step. And that's what we're talking about now. We know we've got a problem. Now we're going to address the mess. Thank you. Free money tip. Did you know that addressing financial matters can begin as easily as opening our mail? And we still get mail, whether it's email or snail mail, if you will, from the U.S. Post Office, or taking a look at bills and statements, reviewing items such as fees and rates. Do you know? Yes, it's a very simple step. Unfortunately, a lot of people bypass it because they don't want to see the truth. Again, you have to address the mess. A lot of people don't even know what rate they're paying on credit cards. A lot of people don't even know because they don't look at it. A lot of times they're just happy to have a card. And the thing is even if you have good credit, the bank doesn't automatically give you a low fee. If they can get away with charging you 24, 29%, they will. And a lot of times you might start out with a promotional rate, and then it even tells you they're going to raise it after 6 months. But in your mind, you're like, okay, I'm going to pay it off after 6 months, and I'm not going to have to pay that rate. Well, you end up carrying a balance and charging more and more. And like I said, even with a good credit score, you can end up with a high interest rate. So it's important to look at the interest rate you're paying. Open the email. Make sure you pay before the due date so you don't end up with late fees. Make sure you do that. So again, addressing financial matters can begin as easily as opening your mail. Some people are afraid to open it or they just go, oh, I already know it's late. I already know there's a problem there. But opening the mail, staying on top of it is so important and can make a big change in your life. All right, we already talked about this in the quiz, but I'm going to talk about it again. D-Free is designed to take people from the bad D's to the good D's. Living with only the good D's means true financial freedom. The bad D's, again, are debt, delinquencies, and deficits. And unfortunately, a lot of people are familiar with debt and then delinquencies, late payments, and deficits, living paycheck to paycheck, or just spending more than you make. It's so important to get away from these D's. These D's can cost you a lot of money. And going from the bad D's to the good D's, deposits, actually making deposits in savings accounts where you can actually gain interest or have an emergency fund. Is there such a thing as good debt? Now, to me, there's a question from that says, is there such a thing as good debt? And I'd have to say there is. One thing that is considered good debt is a mortgage loan. And the reason it's considered good debt is because as you pay your loan off, if you end up paying your home loan off, you own the house. So that's considered good debt. Some people say student loans are good debt. Some people say other things. I disagree, but a mortgage loan can be. But it's not just a mortgage loan. You have to, again, look at the situation. Because remember, we talked about it last week, or I talked about it last week. In the early 2000s, people were getting home mortgage loans with 0% or something like that. And then when the mortgage crisis hit in 2008, um, there were balloon payments. The whole mortgage was due, or a bigger amount was due that they were paying, and they lost their homes. But a regular, and I say regular, something that's legit, a home mortgage would be considered good debt. Good debt. Sometimes a car loan might be, and I say sometimes because some people will do this. They get a 5-year car loan. Oh, let's do this. This is something that wasn't going on early in my banking career. They get a 7-year car loan, 84 months. And then after 4 years, they decide that they want a new car. Well, they still have 3 years of loan left on that car. So what they do is what's left, they add it onto a new loan. So now they got a new loan for, it might be 84 months again, 7 years, but it's not just for the price of the new car, it's the new car plus that 3 extra years. So it's possible that a car loan could be the good debt, but it depends on the terms of the car loan, the interest rate on the car loan, and how you pay for that car loan. Oh, and I'm going to say this. I might be getting ahead of myself, but I'm going to say this. A lot of times this happens with people. They end up paying their car loan off, okay? They pay their car loan off. And just because they paid it off, they decide it's time for a new car. Instead of using that payment to either help pay down other debt or actually to save money. So it's important, just because you pay off your car, if it's running well, if things are going well, use that extra money to pay off bills or to build an emergency fund or to invest. You don't have to have a car note every time. You don't have to have one, especially if your car's working well. So that would be, that's the answer to that. I hope I answered your question. Again, all right. Now, these are things very, very important, and these are going to be on the quiz. I know I don't even make the quiz, but these are very, very important highlights of step 2. Address the mess. We're going to talk about listing income and bills and securing all financial documents. That's going to be homework. In chapter 2, it helps us to realize we have become a nation of that self-medicates through purchasing more of what we don't need or could ever possibly use because we fail to address the 3 most costly types of spending habits. We fail to address it. Before I hit these 3, something that was in the chapter talks about something that we do. One of the biggest businesses is the storage business. Why would the storage business be so big? Because people move? No, because they buy things that they don't need. A lot of people have garages they can't fit into because the extra bedroom is full of things they don't need. The basement is full of things they don't need. The attic is full of things they don't need. So after they run out of places to put things, they end up putting it in the garage. And after it doesn't fit in the garage, what happens? They put it in storage. And that's definitely an indicator. If you have storage and it's not because you moved and you don't have a place yet, it's just extra stuff that you're paying a monthly bill for, there's a possibility that you have too much stuff, and you probably need to get rid of that, and you could sell it or something like that. You probably need to get rid of it. But the thing is a lot of people have storage. And again, this isn't to shame anybody. It's just the reality. It's the reality of how life is. All right, 3 types of spending. As I go over these, see if you can find yourself. Sometimes you're not just one. Sometimes you're a combination of all of these. The first type is compensatory spending. Purchases made to compensate for a perceived weakness, insecurity, and or deficiencies in our character or well-being. We're going to talk a little bit about this. Yes, it's probably time to purge. That's a good way. Admit the problem, then address the mess. So compensatory spending is emotional. We'll talk about it on the next slide, but compensatory. The next one, conspicuous. Purchases made to project an elite economic status. Spending for status. I've never seen so many, not never seen, but you're buying that article of clothing or whatever because of the brand name on it, so it looks like you can afford things. You want to portray a certain status, conspicuous spending. Then there is confused spending, wasteful or thoughtless spending due to haste or financial illiteracy. Confused spending. And confused spending is something Dr. Soyce talks about. And it's something I think about too. Think about, there's this coffee company, Starbucks in Minnesota, there's Caribou. People will spend $5, $6, $7 a cup for a cup of coffee. Think about that. Let's just think about $5, okay? $5 every day, Monday through Friday, for 50 weeks a year, $1,250. One cup of coffee every day, Monday through Friday, for 50 weeks a year. We won't count the vacations, okay? For 50 weeks a year, $1,250. Imagine where that money could go. Imagine where that money would go. It could be your emergency fund. The car is going to break down. I always say, expect the unexpected. It is going to happen. And the thing is when you don't have an emergency fund, you usually use your credit card. If your credit card is at its limit, then you're trying to figure out, maybe you're using a payday loan. There's still payday loans out there. People get check loans where they get a loan till the next payday. And then because they still didn't have any extra money, they got to take out another loan. So confused spending, that's just one example of confused spending. Let's go to the next slide, please. All right. Here goes some examples. When we consume subconsciously, we create a cycle of bad consequences. Financial freedom cannot be accomplished until we address the mess. Again, admitting the problem, great step. But then after we admit it, we've got to address the mess. We got to do something about it address the mess that we have made due to unnecessary debt. An example of compensatory spending, retail therapy. Sometimes emotional shopping. People will buy things they don't need, either because they think they deserve it. I've had a hard week at work. I'm going shopping. I feel bad about the way I was treated. I'm going shopping. I've got low self-esteem. I'm going shopping. And the thing is that's compensatory spending. It's spending to make yourself feel better about yourself. And usually it's for things you really don't need. You really don't need those things. And the thing is it makes you feel better for a little while, but then it goes away. And then you have to end up spending more to keep feeling good about yourself. Conspicuous spending. We used to say keeping up with the Joneses, and now we're not even keeping up with the Joneses. Now, the thing is that, as I said before, with social media, there's so much comparison. We see people going on trips. We see people taking international vacations, going on cruises. And a lot of times we can't even afford that. We feel, Dr. Soyce talked about when he first started pastoring, he was driving a car that was paid for, but someone said, now that you're a pastor, pastors drive Cadillacs. And this was back in the day. So he bought a Cadillac, not because he needed it, but because someone said pastors drive Cadillacs. So he bought that Cadillac, and he said it was probably half the car note. The car note was half the amount of rent. So he was always trying to play catch up. And a lot of us want people to think that we have money. So we buy things with logos, or we buy things to make us look like we have status, to make us feel like we're fitting in, but we're really, really going broke. We're going broke. I'm going to tell this story. It's something he talks about in the book. It's something I learned early on when I started following Dr. Soyce, is that what happened, how he got started with this, is he was a pastor of the First Baptist Church of Lincoln Gardens in New Jersey. They were going through a building phase, and I think they owed $20 million on their church because they had just built a new edifice. Well, the thing is that people weren't giving, and he was trying to figure out why are people not giving. The deacons and the people on the board were saying, you need to talk more about tithing. You need to talk more about tithing. And he was like, no, I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. He said one Saturday he was at an event at the church, and he started looking around the parking lot, and he saw Rolls Royce, Maserati, Cadillacs, um, BMWs, and Mercedes. And he realized he pretty much got an epiphany. He was like, we have all these beautiful cars out here, but the thing is people don't know how to manage their money. They need to be taught. It must be. It's not that they don't have it. They're spending it on other things. And in fact, he said, and I think I told you all this before, I told somebody that I think a year after, or even, no, it was during the housing crisis of 2008. Other churches, their giving was going down. Well, his church's giving increased by $1 million because they were teaching them how to manage their money. And as a result, they're giving more money. And the fact of the matter is more people, I believe it, and they do want to give more money. They do want to give more, but because of the way they spend, not everyone, but because of the way they spend, they can't give. They can't give. So keeping up with the Joneses, and then confused spending, shopping on Saturdays because it's a habit. Sometimes we don't even need to go shopping, but because we always go on a certain day, we always go on a certain day, we go and spend money for no reason. I'll tell you, I was teaching one class, and this was something that used to happen to me. After church, I would teach a class, and then after church, I would be emotional for some reason. I don't mean excited emotional, I'd be emotional. So I would go to the store, buy me some cookies and ice cream and other things, and spend like $20. And I told them that because it was like, okay, I'm going through the same thing you are. Think about what I could do with $20. I could save that $20. I could put it in my grandchildren's college fund. I could put it, toward whatever. And the thing is that was compensatory spending, emotional spending. We have to be careful. We have to be careful about our feelings, why we spend. We have to think about that. Think about why we spend. Yeah, okay. All right, Cuzzo. Ice cream. That's right. Address the mess. Next slide, please. Next slide. All right. Last week we talked about credit reports, and we're going to talk a little bit more about it today. There's a credit score versus the credit report. And here, I wanted everybody to know. I said last week that 70% of credit reports have an error. It might not be a big error. It could be the spelling of your name, but it could be a bill that you paid off. It's not showing this paid off. And you are allowed to get a free credit report every year from the three major credit reporting services: TransUnion, Equifax, and Experience. And you can get them from www, right there, .annualcreditreport.com. And I urge everybody to do it because you don't know what's on there. You don't know what's on there. And it's free. It doesn't have your credit score, but it has information about you. And these are things that when you apply for a job, they run your credit. When you apply for a loan, you have to have you should rather know what's on there and the right information. And hopefully you'll be, when people say they're going to run your credit report, you do it with confidence instead of hiding and be like, ooh, I hope it goes through. I hope everything's okay. But this is the thing. The credit score gives a score which usually determines whether or not you will get credit, be extended credit, and at what interest rate. Because you might get the loan, get the credit, but if your score is higher, you'll pay a lower interest rate. But if your score is lower, you'll pay a higher interest rate. So that is the difference. Very, very important. And as you start to decrease your spending or manage your spending, decreasing your debt, your score will start to go up, and you'll realize you're in a situation where you're paying lower interest, which means lower payments. So it's very, very important, again, to know what's on your credit report. And we're going to talk about scores a little later. Next. Key verse. There is a way that seems right to man, but at the end, it leads to death. Now, we're really getting on this, and I would ask you, what do you think that, how do you think that relates to finances? And the thing is this, if we think about it, as it relates to this verse, spending, managing money, spending for status, it seems right. It seems right. But in the end, it leads to death. And it's financial death, if you will, not physical death, not spiritual death. But as it leads to money, we might think, what's wrong with buying all these name brand clothes? There isn't anything wrong per se, but might not be right for you. Why are you buying it? Are you buying it because you want status? Are you buying it because it's the only thing there is? There's a way that seems right. Why, I deserve to get this. I deserve to spend my money. It seems right. And there might not be nothing wrong, but what cost are you paying for that? Do you have maxed out credit cards because of it? Are you making late payments because of it? So again, there's a way that seems right, but in the end, it leads to death. And again, not physical death or spiritual death, but financial death. So it's important. Think about it. Seems right, but it's not. Now we're going to look at a few things from the book. I'm running a little behind, but I want to, we're almost done with step 2. All right, next one, please. All right, this is some things that I just like you to think about. You can write them down if you want, write them in the chat, or just write it down. Compensatory consumption. Oh wait, I have discovered that I have been influenced by advertisers to practice compensatory consumption when I purchased. Think about that. Oh, I'm going to show you all something. Here is a credit card offer. Oh man. All right, here's a credit card offer. All I got to do is remember my camera's there. From Delta and American Express. They sent it to me, right? Big, beautiful package. Big luxury travel reserve just for me, okay? It looks really good. And then I open it up, and it's got this big brochure of all these things I can have. And the thing is, if I'm somebody, and I've been caught like this before, and I'm not trying to, put myself above, and we'll talk about this later, but I've been caught by this before. You're thinking, oh, wow, American Express, there's an upgrade here. This looks really good. It's a reserve card and this and that. Reserve this card. Get 60,000 bonus miles and things like that. I looked through this. I actually just opened it today because I'm going to throw it out. I'm going to shred it. But the annual fee is $750 per year. $750 per year. So if I went off and thought, ooh, I've got, this feels really good. It makes me feel like I've got a lot of status. Think about how much I'm paying, $750 per year for status, or because I deserve it. So be careful. Be careful. All right. Thanks for, there you go. So that's something, compensatory consumption when I purchased, I could say a credit card. Think about that. Conspicuous consumption when I purchased. What was it, that you were purchasing for status? Confused consumption when I purchased what? Sometimes people purchase bottled water for $1 or $2 a bottle when really there's no difference. Someone told them it's healthier or whatever, and they'll spend $1 or $2 a bottle, and it's water. Or they can get a filter for a lot less. Again, confused consumption. Next, please. And in the book, I'm just going to read over these. We're not going to talk about it, but have you felt overwhelmed by your financial situation? What caused that feeling? And the thing is a lot of people feel overwhelmed by their financial situation. They don't know what to do. How does financial disorganization affect your daily life and long-term goals? A lot of people don't know where their things are. They can't put their hands on it. They don't know what percentage they're paying. They don't know when their bills are due. They don't have a budget. They don't have a plan. They don't have goals. How does that affect? In what ways do cultural and societal influence impact your spending habits? Are you constantly looking at somebody else? Are you comparing yourself to other people? What are you doing? How does that affect you? And it affects a lot of people, again, especially on social media. People, especially in the summer, and people are thinking, I want to go on vacation. Well, save for it. I want to go on a cruise, and sometimes just to post where you went so you can keep up with the Joneses, if you will. And the thing is, you have to be very, very careful. Next, please. Next. And here goes some things that you need to gather to know where you are. Your pay stubs for the past month, annual income taxes. You need to know, what are you paying? Are you getting a refund, or do you have to pay? And if you're getting a refund, what are you doing with it? Your benefit statements, saving and investment accounts. Some people have savings account and investment accounts and have no idea what's in there, or they're constantly taking things out. Retirement statements. Again, some people have retirement plans and statements, but they have no idea how much is in there, and it's good to know just in case. Monthly contribution amounts to savings and investments. How much are you giving? Are you giving it through your paycheck, or are you setting it aside? Or are you giving anything? Insurance premiums for auto, home, health, group plans, life insurance. It's important to know how much you're paying so you can have a plan. Insurance policies, where are they? And then loan statements, mortgage, car, credit cards, where are these things? So gather these, get all these in one place so you will know where they are. Maybe I've got a safe in my house where all the important papers are kept. Keep them there. Maybe there's a drawer you can put them in, but know where they are so you can put your hands on it. Next. And then here's something. Use the space below to list 3 financial habits you want to change. So this is homework for you. What do you do that you want to change? We've talked about a lot today. What do you do that you want to change? Next, because I don't want to go too long. All right, here's our affirmations for address the mess. 1, I can improve the way I handle my personal business. Number 2, it helps me to be challenged to take action. Again, not just admit it, but taking action. Number 3, I need to stop thinking about changing and actually do something. Stop thinking about it and do it. And 4, I'm organized, intentional, and focused. I take control of finances by tracking every dollar. It's so important to track your spending. And that's good homework for the next week. Track everything you spend. Because a lot of people, and I alluded to it last week, they don't track what they spend. They just spend. And as a result, a lot of times they overdraw their accounts and they pay NSF fees, which is just wasted money. It's just wasted money. And a lot of times people are spending things and they don't realize they're spending so much. Eating out. Oh my goodness. A lot of people eat out 3-5 times a week. Eating out is so expensive. I'll tell you, here in Bloomington, Pastor's been here. We were riding down the street. He says, you all got everything. There's so many places to eat. Me, I don't mind calling myself cheap. I hardly eat out because it's important. It's expensive. It is expensive. I'm not saying you should not eat out, but you should know how much you spend when you eat out, and maybe cut back. If you're eating out 3 times a week, maybe just 2 times a week. That might save $20, $30, $40, $50 where you could use it to help pay off a debt. So track every dollar. Next, please. All right. I'm not going to do Q&A right now. We'll do it at the end because I'm running a little behind, but I want to make sure. So we're going to go next to 3. Thank you so much for your patience. All right. Go ahead. Next, please. We're going to go over a money tip. And step 3 is adjust the attitude. We got a key verse, and we're going to go over the same things as we went last time. Next, please. Again, prodigal son. Get started. After he addressed his mess, he went home. He said, how many of my father's servants are living better than me? And he didn't just stay there, but he started walking home. And he adjusted the way he thought. He went to his father's house. His father threw him a party, put him on a robe, and he didn't keep doing the things he did that got him into trouble. He adjusted his attitude. It doesn't talk about that, but he knew in his father's house he couldn't be reckless. He couldn't be reckless as far as spending and that. So he adjusted his attitude, and that's what we need to do. Think about, why do we do what we do, and what adjustments do we need to make? Money tip: by beginning to keep track of your daily spending and spending leaks. These are things that you don't even know. Like I said, they're adding up and they're costing you a lot of money. Within 7 days, you have a good understanding how much you can save. And I'm going to make that your homework assignment. Track everything for the next 7 days. And by next week, that'll be 7 days. And let me know what surprises you. Let me know what surprises you that you didn't even think about what you're spending. Some people spend $500 a month on eating out and they don't know it. So let's look at those things. Again, no shame, but this awareness can help you change your life and maybe reach some of the goals you have. Next, please. All right, there are 5 parts of a credit score. 5 parts. One is payment history. Payment history is 35% of your credit score. Payment history is whether or not you pay your bills on time. So if you don't, 35% of that makes it worse or better if you do. 30% is credit use. That means that if you have a $10,000 credit card and you use more than 3,000, do you know your credit score will go down even if you make your payments on time? So if you let's just make it simple. If you have a $1,000 credit line and use more than $300, even if you make that payment on time, your credit score will go down because the closer you get to your max, it tells them that you're probably desperate for credit and you're not really supposed to live on credit, even though they're happy about it. You're not supposed to live on credit. So if you are constantly using more than 30% of your credit card limit, it doesn't look good for you. Credit mix, 10%. What kind of credit do you have? Excuse me, do you just have credit cards? Or do you, oh, okay, hey. All right, Ron. Credit mix. Do you just have credit cards? Or do you have a credit card, a car loan, and a mortgage? Credit mix. It's only 10%, but it's important to see. It's important to see. And believe me, when people underwrite your loan, they'll look at those things. Length of credit history. How long have you had credit? And we talked about this a little last time. How long do you have credit? Sure, everyone has to start somewhere, but the longer you've had credit and paying it off, the better. And then new credit. New credit is 10%. If you're just starting out, that might affect you in the beginning. It might, but as you grow your credit, it works in your favor. A lot of people who lend will look for at least 12 months of credit history. Some people look for 24. So it's important, and we'll talk more about that. Next, please. Again, adjusting the attitude. Our attitude must change if we're going to follow through and change behaviors and habits that continue to jeopardize our financial health. Core behaviors and actions we must begin to develop, including confronting the truth about our finances. We can't play with ourselves and act like we're not doing well. We have to address it. We have to talk about the truth about our finances. List of your purchasing habits. You've got to write down what you purchase. Write it down. Don't hide from it. A lot of times when I sit down with people I'm like, okay, how much do you spend on this? How much do you spend on this? And then we go through it. And then I'm like, this doesn't add up. You got money left over. And they say, oh yeah, I got this and then I got this. Be honest about it and list everything. Sometimes a lot of people, we talked about lending money and giving money and things like that. List everything. And then breaking the bondages of materialism, redirecting our pursuit for stuff. Redirect that. We have to think about, why am I spending money on this? And it's so, so important. And it's an attitude thing. And we need to break the bondage, and we're able to do so. Next, please. All right. When we consume subconsciously, which happens a lot, we create a cycle of bad consequences. Financial freedom can't be accomplished until we adjust the attitude that we have about unnecessary debts. To hell and back. That has to do with the prodigal son. He definitely went through financial hell and back. How can we take responsibility for our financial plight? Some of us might be in financial hell right now. How can we take responsibility for it? Think about that for yourself. This is a personal question, but it has to do with adjusting your attitude, not just putting in the work, but you have to change the way we think. That's why we haven't started the plan yet, because I can give you a budget, But if you don't change the way you think, that budget is going to do you no good. You have to change the way you think. And paying our ransom, how do we get right with ourselves and God? We have to think about, how do we get right? It has to do with adjusting our attitude. It has to do with what have we been given and what are we doing with it. So it's so important. Attitude adjustment is huge. Think about it. Attitude adjustment is huge. And I keep repeating it because it's so important to change the way you think about your money. Next, please. Key verse. And my God will meet all your needs according to his glorious riches in Christ Jesus. And what that comes down to, a lot of times we have what we need. And one of the problems we have with spending is that we spend for what we want. Sometimes it's written. We we buy our wants and beg for our needs. The thing is, a lot of times we have what we need, but because of our spending and our spending tastes and habits, we don't purchase the things that we need. We're purchasing things we want, and we can't afford to pay our rent or our cell phone bill or our car note or things like that. And it's so important. God gives us what we need for the most part. He does. But it's those wants that we have that cause us a lot of trouble. Next, please. And you have to think about yourself. All right, pledge. This is in the book. I pledge to apply God's strategy for managing my money. I pledge to keep my expenses below my income. All these things can help. I pledge to pay my bills on time. And again, if I've said anything and you're just like, how can I do this? Feel free to contact me and I can help you with that. I pledge to invest in assets that grow in value. Clothes don't grow in value, okay? A lot of things we buy, they don't grow in value. So invest in assets that grow in value. I pledge to contribute to my church and its ministries. Like I said, a lot of times people want to give and they don't have to give because they're not managing the resources God has given them. From the book also, Barriers and Obstacles, I've discovered that I have the following problems due to impatience. And the thing is, and I talked about it before, a lot of times we charge things on credit because we don't have patience. We don't have patience. We don't want to wait until we get paid. We don't want to wait until we can save enough money. And a lot of our problems become because of our impatience. We're very impulsive. So I don't have the money. I've got a credit card. I'm going to buy it now. Well, you can actually wait, and waiting will help. Believe me, a lot of people get in trouble because of impatience. So think about, how has impatience got you in trouble? Another homework thing. Next, please. How has impatience got you in trouble? We're not going to read all these, but some things from the book and the workbook also. Power of belief systems. What messages did you receive about money growing up? And this is for you personally. Sometimes we're in the money situations we're in, not blaming anybody, but because of the messages. Because of the messages that we received. We saw parents, older siblings spending, looking fly and all this, and we thought that's the way life is. And think about it. A lot of times the first thing a lot of pro athletes say, I want to buy a house. I want to buy my mama a house, my dad a house. I want to buy everybody a house. And the thing is that might be a message they got growing up, which left a lot of them broke, unfortunately. Two, emotional spending and its triggers. What emotions often drive your spending? Stress, boredom, status seeking. Look at that. Financial discipline and self-control. What strategies can help you develop financial discipline? What can that do? I'm going to read number 4. How do successful people think about money differently than those who struggle? Believe me, a lot of times I saw this and they're being criticized. A lot of times people want to be seen and look like they have status, but I've been around people who have money and you couldn't tell unless you knew who they were. But a lot of times people without money want to show that they have money and it's written all over them. So how do successful people with money think differently about it? What do they do with it? It's different. Next, please. And here, make a list of yourself, your needs versus your wants. Your needs versus your wants. You don't have to do it now, but think about it. Are things that I need and what are things that I want? What are things that I need? I need food, but do I need to go out? Food is a need, but maybe a want would be eating out to get the food. Okay. I need clothes. A want might be a certain brand name. And think about those things. Think about those things. Think about I need a car or I need transportation. Right now, the need is transportation, but I can't afford a car. The car might be a want and it might get you in trouble. But eventually, you might be able to buy the car, which would be a need. So it just depends. It just depends. All right, next, please. We're going to go next because I want to get ready for questions. Affirmations. I can change the way I think about my wants and needs. I can change the way. Two, there's power in waiting for what I want. It's so important to be able to wait. Three, it's not too late for me to get started improving my financial status. And don't think it's too late. It's better to get started than not to start at all. It is not too late, believe me. Four, I think like a wealth builder and I act accordingly. I think like a wealth builder, not a spender, a wealth builder. It's so, so important. All right. What questions do you have for me? What questions do you have for me?
TG, bring up your questions. Joseph, thank you so much. That was an amazing section. One of the key things that it's actually, and I had to pull it out. It's been a great thing. I actually wrote a book about it and never really fully let people know about it. It's called Change Your Thinking and Change You Can Change Your Destiny. And
Yes,
by
sir.
just changing the way we think about finances, that if I have it and I'm saving it for my son, I'm changing it for another generation, that means it's not going to go to the clothes, it's not going to go to the car, or to me. And I think sometimes, depending on the person, being financially free can be relative to the person. Like, to me, financial freedom is me and my wife say, let's go to Spain today, and we can drop everything and financially go and don't have to worry about where the money is coming from, all those particular things. Or if you have a medical issue, you ain't got to worry about the deductible is so high and all of those different things. And I think that when we change the way that we think about money to save it and not to show it, I think that we really can take our financial stewardship to another level. So TG, make sure that you put your questions in the comments that you want to ask Joseph. I got one here as he's preparing to answer that one. You could put yours in the comment section and we are going to go forward. So the first question is, what is the first thing that we should fix if our finances feel out of control?
All right. All right. That's a great question. I think the first thing, not necessarily to fix, but you need to know where your money is going. You definitely need to know where it's going. Before you can do anything, you need to know how much am I spending versus what I'm taking in. And that can be your finances out of control. You don't have any money. You don't know where your money's going. You feel like I'm out of control. So write a list of your income, your monthly income, and your monthly expenses. Write that down. That's why I said tracking. Tracking is so important because a lot of times we don't know where our money is going. We don't know, especially with swiping on a card. We
Man.
just swipe. We don't look at our online balances. We just swipe and swipe and swipe. And if we have NSF fees, we just pay them. So I'd say list your income and your expenses and track for a week. That will be very helpful. Very helpful.
All right, we got another one from Ron. It says, what way do you know works the best for paying off debt?
Okay. We talked about this last week, and I wouldn't say best, but it depends on you. For instance, let's say you've got five bills, five different kinds of debt. Your balances might be 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, and one good way is to pay off the lowest balance first. And the reason it is the best is it encourages you. Because sometimes you look at all your debt and you're just like, how am I ever going to pay this off? pay off the lowest one first, and you're like, oh, I got rid of that one, and then use that payment and add it onto the next one. So if the lowest payment is $50 a month, you pay off that $500 debt, and then you add that $50 to maybe the next 75. So now you're paying 125, and you're paying that one off faster. And then after you pay that off, you got this 125. You add it to the next one for 200, and you're paying 325. So that is a good one. That is a good way to get started. Pay off, because again, sometimes you never pay off anything because you're paying the minimum payment. It takes you forever to pay it off. And you might even be able to add, like I said, maybe you're going out 3 times a week. Maybe you cut that down to 2 times a week, and you use that extra money to add that to your lowest paying
Yep.
bill, and you pay that off. So that's something that would be helpful.
All right. Our
Thanks for
next
that question.
question is: any recommendations for budget apps or Excel? Excel. I got a good one for you, Kendra.
Okay.
Pen and paper. This is mine. I do every month, so I can see everything. No, I
Just
actually
like
do
your
it every
dad.
month.
Just like your
It's
dad.
Man, hey, you told me extremely well. But you can let her know it was kind of joking, but it's actually serious. I make a printout of all of the things that we pay, and when I first started out, I kind of overdid it. So if we pay normally, unfortunately, this number isn't true anymore. $150 every 2 weeks for groceries. I put $200, which is now actually helping out because just inflation and things of that nature. But the pen and paper actually helps me see every month what we have in there. I even have stuff in there for entertainment. I got stuff in there for vacation. I have stuff in there for miscellaneous. So, the birthday party that you forgot about, you need to stop and get all of those small things to me adds up when you stop and buy somewhere. Oh, let me get a card. That $50 is coming from somewhere, but that's just my personal take. Let's hear what the financial guru has to say.
All right. The thing is I don't, because I use pen and paper and I need to do that for this. But if you're fine with AI, you can go into AI and say, build me a budget. And AI will ask you for the different things that you need to put in there, and it will build you a budget. There are a lot out there. These days, you can just go. I'm going to do it right now, just quickly. Let's see. I'm going to go to Edge. Just a second. Um, because the thing about budgeting is um, it's whatever works for everybody. I wouldn't ask anybody to use pen and paper like I do. I use it because I've been using it for years. It works for me. But some people, they're always on a screen, which is fine. So that works for them, and you use what works for you. I just put down budgeting apps here. Um, they got QuickBooks, Rocket Money. And there's so many out there that you could even you can just do that. You can Google it, for lack of a better term, and just ask for budgeting apps, and then feel which one works for you. Which one works for you? Some of them are very complicated. They are, and some of them are very simple. But unfortunately, I don't have one that I use. But that's a good idea for me to look them up so I can make suggestions. But definitely, they're out there. They are out there, and Excel. Usually you have to make your own in Excel. So I would go and look for it, and they will actually have one where you just have to enter the information in for you. All right. Thanks for
All
that
right.
question.
Yeah, I see you, Mario. The capital one, the what's in your wallet. I see. All right, we
That
got one more after this one, unless they put anything else up. And here it is. It says, "How should we balance paying bills, saving money, giving, and still enjoying life? Is that even possible?" Like, I used to a whole lot. Dave Ramsey, when he was like, when you're doing that, it's just beans and rice, rice and beans, beans and rice, rice and beans. And it's like you can't enjoy yourself at all. Is that a reality? Because, that can deter people from saying, and forget all that. And I'm dead, somebody else. I just found out if somebody passes away, they still got bills that it falls next to whoever just closest to them. Is that correct?
it can be, depending on the situation. It definitely can be. What happens is when someone passes away, for instance, when my mom passed away 3 years ago, the probate attorney, their job is to send out and say, does this person owe any debt? So even if that debt was hidden, it goes out. They say, yes, this person owes debt. And in situations, depending on the situation, that debt must be paid by who's left. So yeah, there's a possibility, depending on the situation, that it doesn't just go away. It doesn't just disappear. It doesn't just disappear. Now, going to your question, very, very good question. And it has a couple of layers because when you mention rice and beans, that's a mindset. Some people go, you know what? I don't want to sacrifice. I don't want to sacrifice. But sometimes it takes some sacrifice in order to get in a position. Now, the ideal budget, 10% tithes, 10% savings, 10% investment, and 70% for your other spending. Okay, that's the ideal. So you have a chance to save, invest, give, and spend. Or Jesus paid it all. All right, he did, and he left a lot of messages of ways to manage your money. Oh my goodness! See, these saints at the gathering, they know the word. All right, I'm trying to teach you. Okay.
That was good.
Yes. So it's important. Sometimes we do have to sacrifice. Sometimes we do have to sacrifice. Dr. Soares talks about this, and I just use him as an example because I could use, I can't think of anybody else. But he said he bought furniture on credit. He bought that car on credit. He had an apartment he couldn't own. He went home, slept on his mother's floor in a sleeping bag for 6 months, sold the car, sold the furniture, sold all that, and he slept on the floor for 6 months so he can pay off all that debt.
Wow.
Then it put himself in a better position. And a lot of times we don't want to be, I heard this word the other day, we don't want to be uncomfortable. We don't want to be uncomfortable. But sometimes it takes sacrifice to get into that position so you can pay your bills, save your money, give, and still enjoy life. And sometimes you have to do that. If you have to take lunch to work every day, do it. If you can't go out for 6 months, or you can only go out once a week, you've got to do that. If you can't get that coffee, get your own coffee maker and make your own coffee. And sometimes people don't fit in, because everybody else has their cup of coffee from Starbucks or wherever, and they want to feel like they fit in too, or whatever. I see people having their kids, learning how to drink expensive coffee or expensive drinks. And this is me. I mean, come on. I mean, what are you teaching them to do already?
You're already leaning into the last question that we have.
Yeah. So it's so important. Wow. Sacrifice. You've got to sacrifice.
Last question we have, because I didn't see any more in the chat. So if you didn't put it up, forgive me. It says, how can we teach our children or young people better financial habits early? And I guess you could say children, but also with us, to make it all encompassing.
Well, let's start with children. One of the things we should do is, especially in banking, I see a lot of people bring their children in to open up checking and savings accounts so they can learn how to manage their money early. But then there's a lot of people who don't. They just come in to cash checks that they were given as gifts. Wow. And the thing is when people get money as gifts, young people, teach them how to put that money in savings, or at least a portion in the savings. Teach them how to tithe. So if they get a $10 gift, let them know $1 is for tithes. You have to learn early. You've got to learn early, and let them know you don't spend the whole 10. Save 5, save 2, save 3. So you've got to create those habits, but you've got to know those habits first in order to teach them. But you can teach them early. Teach them early that it's important to have savings. It's important to give. And that's just it, because a lot of people, there's another story, and we're not going to read the whole book, but someone passed away at Dr. Soares' church, and the relatives came and said, we don't have money to bury them. Will the church bury them? And Dr. Soares said, if we buried everybody who died in this church, I think they had like 300 funerals a year. He said, we go broke. We would go broke. And the thing is people think church attendance equals the church paying for members' funeral, even if they're long term, short term. No, that's not the case. I mean, and I bring that up because we have to teach. We teach our
Mm.
children. We teach our children to do those things. And think about it. I was going to get into advertising. I'm going to do this quickly. There's this credit union around here, and they have this young black lady, maybe in her 20s. She says, I've been told all my life not to buy fancy coffee drinks, but I like my daily dose, right? And I'm like, who is this focused toward? We already know who it's focused toward. And the thing is we have to teach, okay, coffee, fine. Get your own coffee machine. Don't pay somebody five, six, seven, maybe $10 for a cup of coffee. Get your own. Pay $50, 50 cents rather a cup or whatever,
Hmm.
and do that. And the money you save, put it in savings or something like that. So we have to have those habits ourselves and make sure when on those birthdays. I mean, kids are getting, I think they're getting more and more money on birthdays than they used to.
Hmm.
Don't just have them run to the store and buy something, set up and say, this goes to the tithe, this goes to your savings, and this you can spend if you want to. So those kind of lessons are very, very important. And as they do that more often, I believe it will become automatic. It's still their choice, but I think it'll become automatic because it's something that they do often. I was broke and I was still paying tithes. I was broke. I'll tell you, I
Wow.
was, because I learned how to do that early. I learned how to do it early. And some people can't pay tithes. I'm not going to shame you, because some
Hmm.
people, I won't say can't, but because of their financial situation, it is a sacrifice. However, when you get to that situation, if you're
Yep.
still paying tithes and broke, still pay them. But if you're not paying them, when you get in a situation where you manage your money better, giving, giving back isn't just telling people about what you learned, it's giving to causes that are important to you. It's
Yep.
giving to causes that are important to you, and church is one of them. Or just helping people out when you all do your monthly ministry. It's, what's it called? It's your, what you do on Saturdays.
Oh, you talking about the see a need, me a need, or you talking about our
It's
gathering
reach out,
outreach? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
outreach. And the reason I say that is outreach, you're giving, people get free things because you're spending money to
Yep.
give them free
Yeah.
things. So being a blessing to someone, being a blessing to someone, and a lot of people want to be a blessing to someone, and they feel like they can't because they don't have the money. But if you learn how to manage your money, you can be a blessing to somebody. And trust me, it feels great to be a blessing to somebody, not to brag about it, but just to be a blessing, because the need is there. And think about being used really by God. He gives you to be a blessing to others, and people
Yes.
bless you. But it's a great
Yep.
feeling. It's a great
Yep.
feeling. Yes.
All right. We
All
got one
right.
more question that snuck in, so I'm gonna give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Ron says, any advice on where I can grow my money outside of just a plain savings account that's not benefiting me?
I'll tell you this. You said a plain savings account. They have high interest savings accounts that are paying 3% and 4%. Now, those,
Yeah.
that could be helpful. That could be helpful because depending on how much money you had, it can really, really, really be helpful. So I'd say look into high interest savings accounts, high yield savings accounts. And you can just Google that, and it'll tell you. There's some that are still paying 4%. So that can be very helpful. Right. Savings accounts these days, they're paying 0.1% or 0.01%. It's almost nothing. But
Right.
there are some high yield savings accounts that are paying 3% and 4%. That could be helpful. That could be helpful.
That's good. That's good. So everybody, let's give it up for Joseph one more time. He has blessed us in a tremendous way. Joseph, thank you. Thank you. We got one
Oh, I
more
love
week
being here.
to be able to pull from all of this great teaching that we've been getting. So, TG, I pray that you all have been enjoying everything that God has been doing through this Transform Our Finances workshop. Again, live and free to you. You're able to ask your questions, get your questions answered live. Don't be ashamed, or you can send it to us or put it in the app, and we'll make sure that it get up, because this is to help us, not to shame us, to help us. Again, a lot of times you might not get a pastor trying to get some money in your pocket instead of getting it out. No, that ain't how we operate here. I want all of us to be good stewards over everything that God has given us, because he's given it to us to flourish. He's given it to us to bless others. He's given it to us to show that our Father blesses us. So again, I want us to be good stewards over it. I know you hear a lot of times from different skits and things that you see on online and TV of pastors always want your money. No, that ain't this house here. I want you to be the best steward over everything that God has given you. And then when you become a good steward, his blessings is already attached to your giving and your heart. So again, let's give it up again for Joseph, who did an amazing job on tonight. All right, we're getting ready to end it. If you do have any urgent prayer requests, put it in the chat and I'm going to pray for it. We're going to receive our offering for tonight. And I'm going to catch y'all on Sunday where we have the dynamic duo coming up. So if you do have any urgent prayer requests, put it in the chat, or you want us to touch and agree with you on a particular issue, I'm going to pray that God begins to answer everything that you have. Carly even giving a little bit more advice. Ally or SoFi has a good high yield as well. Patrick, good to see you. Okay, you did sneak in here. Good to see you. All right. Father, in Jesus' name, we thank you. We bless you for being so good to us. Thank you for being better to us than we can ever conceive to be to ourselves. Thank you for being our Lord, our God, and our Savior. Thank you, God, for being such a good God to us. You've been better to us than we can ever conceive to be to ourselves. Father, I touch and agree with every family that's represented here this evening. Father, I pray that you continue to give us all financial wisdom, financial discipline to be great financial stewards over everything that you've given me. Us, Father, I thank you that we'll be able to bless not only our home, but to help others. I thank you that we'll be financially free to do the things that require in your house. God, we thank you that we'll be financially free to be able to help those and not just have the urge to help. Father, I touch and agree with your best for your people's life. So, Father, now I touch for every individual prayer request that might have been said or not said. For those that need healing, I thank you that by your stripes that healing is being manifested from the crown of their head to the sole of their feet. And Father, not just only heal, but make whole, God, mind, body, and spirit. Father, I thank you for everything that you're doing. There is none like you. I touch and agree for every household that's represented. I touch and agree for Doris. I touch and agree for Mario. I touch and agree for Amanda. I touch and agree for every family of TG. Those that are in the building and those that watch online. I touch and agree for Rose complete healing. I touch and agree for every miracle that you've already said and promised in your word that you shall fulfill. Father, I thank you. I bless you for being such a great and amazing God. There is none like you. Father, I pray that you continue to bless us to be good stewards over everything that you've given us. If it's 10 cents, the 1 cent is yours is to tithe. If you've given us $1, the 10 cent is yours to tithe. If you give us $100, the $10 is yours to tithe, because we want to honor you, not just with our mouth, but with our finances. So, Father, we give you full praise, honor, and glory for everything that you're doing, for everything that you're manifesting. Father, I touch and agree for Sister Blunt's home, God, from the front door to the back door. Continue to bless, to cover, and let your peace reside in the home. I thank you that it is so, God. I touch and agree for Patrick, Shaquan, Chantrell, Cantrell, and Lewis. I thank you for blessing the household, God. I thank you for blessing the Lau household. I thank you for blessing the Washington household. I thank you for favor in the Jones household. I thank you for exceeding and abundantly above we can ask or think in the Stepter household. I thank you for what you're doing. I thank you that your favor shall not run short. And we give you full praise, honor, and glory, because there's none like you. In Jesus' name. Everybody put in the chat, there's none like him. There is none like him. Let that be your declaration, that there is none like him, because that's just the kind of God we serve. Have y'all been really enjoying how we're learning to transform our finances? Yes, this is different, but yes, I believe God wants us to be great financial stewards over what he has given us. So tonight, I'm going to ask you to give, as you see every month, that as we go out to different places, that we are giving financially, that when we give free washes away, that we give free dryers. Because I remember when I was living in an apartment building, I used to think that the wash was just like $3 or $4 at the most. and a quarter to dry when we was going to the laundromat. Y'all, them things was costing $10 and $15, even though they were huge and all that money to dry. But because you're able to give every month, I want us to see we're open house. This is where the money is going, that we're blessing God's people every month. The See a Need meter bags, we're blessing people every week. That when you give somebody the See a Need need bag, guess what? When we go to the different stores and buy the good product, we was giving away the good lotion, we was giving away towels, we was giving away tissue, we were giving away it all, and not just regular stuff, good name brand stuff, because we want to let them know that you're God's people and that we honor you who you are in God, whether you know you're a son or a daughter of God or not. We recognize who you are, and we're planting that seed in your life. So when you do give to us, that's where it's going, along with us looking to buy our own building. And hear what I said, buy our own building. If that's the way that God has it, and guess what? It ain't going to do it during chicken dinners. By faith, if we continue to be good stewards over everything that God is doing for us, guess what? We ain't got to sell no chicken dinners in the kitchen. We ain't got to do that little small stuff. By us being, first off, by you giving, and then also too, the financial team, myself, we have to be good stewards, because you could be giving and we can only have $50,000 in the bank. Like, no. We want to make sure that we're operating in what God has given us, because you could be giving and there's nothing there. So again, I want you to see that when you give, you are sowing in good ground, and every month you have a reality check when we show you this is going to the community. So again, thank you for giving. You see the ways to give on the screen. You can give through Cash App, which is the $ the Gathering Shy, or you can give through Zelle, which is the Gathering Shy at yahoo.com, or you can text to give at 833-422-5862. I'm going to give 20 tonight. If you can meet me or beat me above the $20 I'm able to give. If you're not able to give it, give the $2 that God has given you. If you don't got the 2, give the 5, whatever God has given you. If you ain't got anything to give, guess what? I'm not gonna shame you, because I believe that you will have the seed to sow in the future. And thank God that you have a desire and a heart to give. Now, when he blessed you, don't forget that desire and don't forget that heart. But again, it ain't no shame. You are where you are, and God is teaching us, even through this Transform Our Finances series, how to be better stewards. I can admit I was one of them ones that jacked up and ran up credit card debt when I was going to college, and nobody explained to me what those cash withdrawals. I was like, "Woo, I could just get money out like this." I was getting like $40 out of WAP and spending it before the day was over, and not thinking about the responsibility of having to pay it back. Oh, but did I have to pay it back? And there's a saying that said, only thing that I had was a t-shirt. And that's literally what I had, was a t-shirt. Because when I signed up for the card, they were in the lobby area of my college. I was going to Truman College at the time. Never will forget it. And there was a Citibank. Is Citibank still around, y'all? I might be dating myself. Citibank credit card. They was in the lobby. And after I signed up, they were happy to tell me, yep, you got approved already. And they gave me a t-shirt. And I remember, as I was the last part of getting that debt out of my life, I still had that raggedy t-shirt and never wore, because who gonna go around rocking a Citibank a t-shirt? So yeah, they got me pretty good. So with that being said, again, the ways to give is on the screen. Cash App, $ the Gathering Shy. Zelle is the Gathering Shy at yahoo.com, or you can text to give at 1-833-422-5862. Or for those of you that are digitally astute, you can also give on our app. So again, let's give it up to Joseph again for pouring out. Again, this just isn't something he read in a book. He actually has lived and is living this life and is teaching it all over the world. So I thank God for him just stopping by and leaning his wisdom to us, and showing us how we can be financially free. So with that being said, I do want to remind all of us, don't forget, this upcoming Sunday is our Fresh Voices Part 2, is the dynamic duo of Minister Gary Edwards and Elder Taylor Cisco. It is going to be amazing. 25 minutes of the word man himself, Minister Gary Edwards, giving, y'all know Gary gonna give you word and scripture, and then the wisdom man is going to be amazing. So Elder Cisco is going to lay the foundation, and Minister Gary Edwards is going to bring it home. It is going to be an amazing time. So make sure you join me this Sunday in the building. I want to see you in the building. How many going to make that promise to me, that intentional promise that you're going to try to be in the building and praising God with me? Let me know, Pastor. I'm going to try to be in the building. I'm going to try to be in the building with you on Sunday. Let me know in the comments. I'm looking at the comments now. I see your hand clapping. I want to see if you're going to be in the building on Sunday. So, with that being said, I want to see you. The dynamic duo is up next. They are going to be ministering for us in an amazing way. I believe God has put a word in their belly, and it's going to be a blessing to the house. So, again, I pray that you all are learning and getting something from it. And you're okay. I see you, Pastor. We got one person that's going to be there. It's going to be me, you, and Minister Edwards, and somebody else going to be there. Okay, I'll be online. Thank you. Our Milwaukee member going to be online. I think that's where you're at, Milwaukee, right? Milwaukee, Wisconsin. What? Milwaukee's Wisconsin. You get what I'm saying. I think that's where you at. Terry says she's going to be in the building. Okay, y'all making me happy. I ain't going to be there by myself. So again, it'll be good to see all of y'all so I can hug you, talk to you, and us get this word that God has for us together. So remember, come on, Kay, you're going to be there then and then going to be gone for, I'm going to mess with you. So it'll be a blessing to see you all. But guess what, y'all? Okay, she said, I'm gonna be in the building. I'm gonna try to be in the building. That's right. Make sure you bring mama with you too. Oh, Madison, Wisconsin. Okay, yeah, Madison, Wisconsin member. Kendra's there, Christina's there. All right, so I ain't gonna be there by myself. That made me feel good. Okay, Mario, don't make me stand up with again flexing my shirt from Kendra Max Scripture, not energy. We got some great entrepreneurs in the building. Mario, don't make me stand up, man. You're gonna make me stand up to see you in the building. And I'm gonna try. Terry says she's gonna try to be in the building also. So again, it is good if you can be in the building. Make sure that you talk to me. I want to see you, hug you, see what's going on. But I pray that you were blessed by this financial freedom. And guess what, y'all? I'll catch you the next time.